This past week, artificial intelligence didn't just make progress, it went into overdrive. 4 days in, and we'd already seen model releases that could reshape industries, billion-dollar funding rounds, and the first real-world tremors from AI replacing jobs at scale.
From OpenAI's most powerful model yet, to a breakthrough that could revolutionize battery technology, to geopolitical moves in AI regulation, if you care about the future of business, technology, or society, the clock is ticking.
We're not here to hype, we're here to brief you, like you're in the war room. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what happened, why it matters, and what's coming next, before your competitors do.
This is the GrAIdient. And this is the week AI went into overdrive.
Let's start with the headline that had every enterprise CTO perking up. OpenAI dropped GPT-5. They're calling it the smartest, fastest model they've ever built. And from what we've seen, that's not just marketing. GPT-5 blends lightning-fast replies with a deeper thinking mode for complex reasoning. That means less fluff, fewer hallucinations, and more reliable output for mission-critical work. Here's what this means for enterprise. 700 million ChatGPT users now have access, and the Pro tier opens the door for extended reasoning chains. That could rewrite how companies approach coding, legal drafting, and even health analytics. But OpenAI didn't stop there, and Anna. This next move actually surprised the entire industry.
It did. OpenAI, open-sourced. Yes, the same company that's kept model weights locked down for years, just released 2 GPT-OS models, a 120 billion parameter system that performs near GPT-4 levels, and a 20 billion version that runs on a laptop, both under Apache 2.0. The real breakthrough here is strategic. This is a direct counter to China's surge in open-weight models. By putting high-quality models in developers' hands, OpenAI is signaling it won't cede the open-source field to rivals. And Andrew, while that was the big story in the West, over at Google DeepMind, something equally disruptive dropped.
Right, Genie 3. Imagine an AI that can generate an entire interactive three-dimensional world in real time. That's what DeepMind just demoed. Virtual warehouses, street scenes, even outdoor landscapes, all rendered dynamically at 720 p.m., 24 frames per second, with the consistency holding for minutes, not seconds. From a systems perspective, this is a massive leap for robotics training, game development, even urban simulation. And Anna, you've been tracking another model update. That could be the prelude to an even bigger announcement.
Anthropic quietly rolled out Claude Opus 4.1, a sharper, more factual upgrade that nails multi-file code refactoring and deep analysis. On the SWE coding benchmark, it hit 74.5%, up from roughly 71. The interesting part? They're hinting this is just a warm-up for substantially larger improvements in the coming weeks. And I wouldn't be surprised if that means Claude 5. While the model race heats up, the AI product space had its own fireworks this week.
ElevenLabs, the voice AI giant, launched ElevenMusic. Think text to music with synthesized vocals. And unlike earlier tools, this one's backed by licensing deals with major music rights holders. That's crucial. It means creators can use the output commercially without fearing lawsuits. The strategic play here is obvious. Brands, ad agencies, and film studios can now generate custom music tracks at scale, legally. Of course, Anna, not all AI launches this week are as safe for work.
Elon Musk's xAI released Grok Imagine, an image and video generator, with a spicy mode that produces NSFW content. That includes partially nude images and potentially deepfakes of public figures. This fundamentally changes the moderation conversation. While most platforms are tightening controls, xAI is opening the floodgates and limiting access to Premium X subscribers. And Andrew, while the content debates rage, Research Labs delivered some very real-world breakthroughs.
One of the biggest? A generative AI system from New Jersey Institute of Technology, designed 5 entirely new crystal structures for magnesium and zinc-based batteries. These could replace lithium, making batteries safer, cheaper, and denser. From a market perspective, if even one of these materials scales commercially, it could trigger a supply chain shift worth billions. And speaking of billions, let's talk funding.
Meta acquired WaveForms AI, an 8-month-old startup, specializing in emotionally expressive voice models. It's Meta's second AI audio buy in a month. And it brings in tech that can go from speech to text to speech in a single model. Looking at the data, That's a direct move to make Llama models fully voice interactive, and possibly more emotionally responsive than anything on the market. But Andrew, the week wasn't just about software. Infrastructure made headlines too.
Let's talk funding. Broadcom launched the Jericho 4, a networking chip capable of linking over 4,500 AI processors across data centers, even over distances of 60 miles. We're talking 3.2 terabits per second per port with HBM3 memory built in. Here's what this means for enterprise. It's a direct answer to the bottlenecks that plague large model training. Any cloud provider running Jericho 4 instantly gains the ability to train frontier models faster, at scale. And while the tech pushes forward, the policy side made moves that could slow or shape that momentum.
August 2nd marked the first enforcement phase of the EU AI Act for General-Purpose AI. From now on, any new foundation model entering the EU has to register, disclose training data, and run a risk assessment. This fundamentally changes compliance for anyone planning an EU launch and sets a regulatory blueprint. Other countries might follow. And Andrew, the social implications of AI also hit home this week.
Tata Consultancy Services announced 12,000 job cuts, the largest in its history, with analysts warning it's just the start. Generative AI can now handle code review, QA testing, and routine support, the very work that sustained millions of offshore jobs. From a systems perspective, this is the first real wave of AI-induced job displacement at scale. It won't be the last.
Looking ahead, we're watching for Anthropic's next Claude upgrade, possible NVIDIA GPU announcements, and the UK's Global AI Safety Summit agenda. Any of these could reshape the competitive landscape again, fast.
And that's exactly why the GrAIdient exists, to make sure you're not reacting to AI change, but anticipating it.
Subscribe now, because in AI, a week can change everything.